Hi, and welcome to the second part of participatory fluency. Our theme today is habits. We're going to talk about things that we do frequently and how frequently we do them. This has to do with how we live our lives and the things that surround us, how we choose to interact with the world, everything that is part of our lives and we have to deal with frequently, comparing those things with other people and what they do. When we talk about, for example, something like waking up in the morning and going to work, we are talking about something that happens frequently. If you live in a certain area, you may have a certain kind of habit and a pattern of things that you do. You wake up, you brush your teeth, you have breakfast, and then you can separate these things into little parts of your day and your breakfast routine. Aside from breakfast, you have taking a commute, for example, and getting to work and doing all the things that you do at work. Describing these processes is going to be important for you to make the person better understand what you have to handle every day. If someone turns to you and says, "I'm an accountant," you may have no idea what they deal with every day. If someone turns to you and says, "I'm a musician," you may have no idea what they deal with every day. If someone turns to you and says, "I'm an account manager," maybe you would have an idea, because this is something that's becoming more and more common. But many people will know what this is all about. Narrating the things that you do every day and describing them will be important. And when you meet people who have the same interests, the same habits, and the same surrounding context as you will find interesting conversations to have and interesting connections to foster with people. This will be important and is a step towards the goal that we have of reaching out to a bigger community. Something that is important to mention is that when we talk about habits, we talk about things that we do every day, and it's almost instant that we think about reaching out for our phones and things that we do with the aid of technology. One of the things I want to make clear here is that we're not talking about the habits in terms of technology. We're talking about the habits in general. So I can talk about going for a walk, I can talk about taking medicine, I can talk about going for a walk with your dog at the beach, running and doing sports and eating certain things and cooking and doing laundry and cleaning and taking care of your kids and all of these things, talking to your neighbors and your friends. All of these things are parts of our habits. But when we talk about the digital world, we are talking about specific things. And it's common today to find people who ask questions like, do you have Facebook? Do you have Snapchat? Do you have X? Do you have Instagram? And to find connections with those people based on something that they do every day. Then we're going to follow what they do, because technology was constructed in a way and developed in a way that made people have this mindset of following what other people do. The habits of other people are inserted into our habits. Our habit is looking at what they're doing, but not necessarily. You may find this a complete waste of time, or you may be a little bit skeptical. But it's good to find people who share the same kinds of interests as you, If you have, for example, an interest for drawing, or for art, for painting, for inspirational videos, or anything on the web, today it's very easy to make a connection based on those interests and talking about the things that you see every day with another person who shares the same kinds of interests. One of the goals of participatory fluency is to make you able to make connections with people who have the same interests as you. So you may find, if you're a person who is interested in art, you may find a lot of different artists on the web with the age of technology. Without the age of technology, you may find, for example, in an event, people who share the same kind of interest as you. And you may start a conversation, and even in college, for example, you have a group of students who study the same thing, and you make friends based on the thing that you're studying. Each course has an area that you will focus on, or many subject matters, and the students will focus on these areas and will talk about everything that is discussed in the classes. But if we look at something that happened very early in our lives, we find a similar kind of situation. You can have someone who turns to you and says, "Do you play sports?" And you say, "Yes, I do." And then you start a conversation because of sports, and you end up talking about the details of everything that's happening in championships and stuff like that. If you talk about something like, "Do you play games?" and the person says yes, you can talk about the latest developments in game releases and this kind of stuff. What do you like to play? And you may even play together, or invite each other to play in each other's houses, or play online if that's the case. If you don't have video games or you don't like sports, you can also reach out in different ways. You can have many interests, and talking about your habits and the things that you do every day is a way to make the connection more interesting, because the person will learn what your life is like. If you say that you wake up early in the morning and the person says, "Oh, I'm a night person," then you have this difference and you learn how to deal with that. These are the things that you'll be able to do after we discuss a little bit more on the habits and how expressing habits in English will make you make better connections. On the third section, we will see a little bit about thoughts, feelings, and arguments. This means that we'll be able to express opinions clearly and respectfully. I'll see you on the next round.